Welcome to SEO, SEO Conspiracy.com.
Bonjour, hello Laurent, hello everyone.
Hello Dixon, you even say it better than me. SEO Conspiracy.com.
It's only because you once told me off for not being enthusiastic enough. So that's the reason for that.
Amazing topic today.
Oh, it's a good fun one, isn't it? Yeah.
It's the. Is it only for the black hat?
I need to get my white hat. I'll have to go and bring a white hat. It's too late now. Anyway, yeah.
Yeah. There's a debate. He's going to wear the white hat. I'm going to wear the black hat. Is cloaking only reserved for black hat? Is it only for me, or can you use it?
It's a good topic because I cloak. I have cloaked on a regular basis. I'll tell you the first time I ever cloaked, I wasn't very clever really. It was 2001, I think, and I was trying to go for my first ever proper sales meeting, SEO sales meeting, and I went to a company called Fig Leaves, who are a women's underwear company. And I was trying to pitch for SEO and explaining what SEO was and why they needed it, and I thought I did a really good job. They were local company, or they had their offices in a local place. It was I thought I was there, and I got an email a couple of days later saying that they'd given the job to my competitor down in Brighton. There's loads of SEOs in Brighton, and I was so annoyed that GoTo.com had just come to the UK. I don't know if you remember GoTo.com, but that was a pay-per-click search engine, and it turned into Overture in the end. And so I bought women's-underwear.net. I then did a 100% frame, because iframes didn't even exist then. 100% frame of their site, and then there were a whole load of ISPs that started using GoTo.com because they get money from it, and one of which was called FreeServe, which was a big ISP in the UK. So I did a 100% frame, paying 5 pennies per click or something, and I phoned them up and said, "Oh, I'm really sorry that you've given the business to somebody else. I've already got your number one on these 2 search engines, so the direct exact match search domain as well. So these 3 search engines, you're already number one. How is these guys in Brighton doing for you?" And so that was kind of blue collar cloaking. It was really cheap and simple cloaking. It wasn't very clever at all. But you know what? They just said, "Oh, have you ever heard of affiliate marketing?" I became a big affiliate. So I carried on doing that for quite a long time, actually. Just doing that, and also I remember having to use cloaking for ferry site as well, because I guess it was kind of like using API feeds really. So it was getting around it by different domains, and then you were bringing in the same content, which is a booking engine, through API feeds or JavaScript and things like that, because it was before Google was reading JavaScript in the same way as now. But the thing is, there's so many times when cloaking is appropriate, I think, but I think that you're going to tell me, and I think I have to agree with you, that Google's argument would be different. Is cloaking ever justified, Laurent, in Google's eyes?
Yes. The only time when you go in the dark side over the line is when you touch one single element of content. Even the ads, even the pop-ups, that's content. If you only touch the linking, the internal linking, the structure of the website, you can present, and you do, mobile version, desktop version. Forums have been cloaking since the 90s.
That's cloaking right there. You're delivering different content to the desktop user than you have to the mobile user. That's using the same methodology to do that.
That's cloaking, but that's white hat cloaking because it's only the links, internal links. not the outbound links, okay? Because there is shady ways to do.
But it's not necessarily, though, is it? Because if you can easily have content that only appears on the mobile version, or easily appears on on the desktop version.
But that's border. Let's say that on the mobile version you don't display the ads, or even you want to hide the affiliate links. Well, Google might let it slide, but it's already content. You shouldn't present a different version of the content, and the ads are part of the content. But the outbound links are part of the content.
But surely that's not necessarily true, because the mobile version, you don't want to deliver all those images. You don't want to deliver all that extra variation of it.
But that's why they lay slide, because you don't try to trump. You don't try to lead the visitor into something that it's not. The black hat way to do it is basically, and I'm sure I know very well how to generate automatically content. Okay,
I'm sure.
Food for search engine. I started off back in the days with a tool called Yahoo Pipes with RSS feeds. And that tool, you could mix all the feeds together, and that's how I first generated automatic content, and that was back in 2004. We are in 2020. Trust me, I know how to. And with all the semantic tools we have and stuff, that's not the issue. And if you want me to talk about it one day, I'll talk about it one day. That's not the point. That's shady, because you got food for search engines, and the user is going to see just one plain page with a nice form, with a nice call to action. That's I mean, I was going to say that's wrong. That's wrong for Google. That's not illegal in a
so where do you think Google are taking action in the cloaking world at the moment? Because is it in the algorithms, or is it at the point at which manual?
It's manual, because there are three ways to cloak. You got one on the user agent. That's easy. With a little Chrome extension or something, you change yourself for Googlebot, and you're gonna see the cloaking. Then you can cloak on the IP of Googlebot. Yep. So you gotta stay up to date, because the IPs change, and you got a whole bunch of listings of all the IPs that you want to include and not include. And that's tricky, because sometimes you say, okay, if Googlebot is by itself on the site, is like, where are the other ones, right? So you might want to still feed and then the right way, the good way, the only one is cloaking on the host, on google.com. On the domain, on the host. If it's not the google.com, the host, then you can't see the content. You got tricks. You might be able to see if you use, for example, the tool, the mobile rendering tool by Google. You might be able to see the cloaking. Now, if you want to see my codes, it's very easy. I gave them to a student, and he modernized them. I'll link the site below, but it's in the cloaking-veritas.com, and you can learn by yourself. It's 3 lines of code. It's so easy, you won't believe how. But use it.
I think there's quite a lot of other ways in which you can cloak as well, really. I mean, they may sort of root back to the same methodology, but ultimately you can cloak based on on location. Cloaking for geolocation is a very legitimate reason for delivering different content. It's the only annoying thing about that is that if you do that, then Google can't see the stuff in French and German necessarily. So you've got to just do some you've got to have some flat URL versions of each of the different languages as well. But the user, when they come to your page, if you've got it in multiple languages, it's much better to deliver it in the right language. And that's just cloaking as well. And then the other thing that you do with cloaking is if you know who that person is. So content cloaking is just all the time. Facebook effectively is cloaking on every single URL, because when I go, Facebook knows who I am. When Google tries to see it, Facebook doesn't know who that person is, and so it's different content. So cloaking
but it's legit. It's legit. They're gonna penalize you if you want to trump. If you want to make yourself appear different than what you are really. Meaning you got food for search engines, and then you got food for users that they don't like.
But I think they used to think, oh, okay, somebody's delivering different content to the user than they are to Googlebot. Therefore, we'll assume that it's manipulative cloaking. I think that's gone by the by now. I think they realise that doing that, they're going to catch so many legitimate websites in that process that they don't do it anymore.
They do it by hand. That's why. There's no algorithmic ways for them to sort this out. The main case when I use cloaking is pretty much 99% of the time is when I have to deal with an e-commerce website with the huge mega menu. That's for the user. I don't agree with that, but I understand it. You want the mega menu, you want to have access to everything. But for my user, which is Googlebot, we're not going to do that. So that's cloaking. The human is going to see all those links everywhere, and the bot is going to see nice silos and nice architecture done with precision.
I'd argue that Google doesn't. I don't think a mega menu is particularly good for a human most of the time. Up to a point, maybe, but
it's debatable. We don't agree, but
customers want it.
I understand when people think that maybe if you buy a capture card at the same time, I also want to buy a mug.
Yeah,
I don't know if you think that, because people think in a way that I come from the homepage, then there's this architecture category, subcategory, product page. The way we think is from the entry point, the keyword on Google, the tweet, the description on YouTube, and that's my homepage. Every page is a homepage. That's how we think. When people building the website, they don't think about it that way. And that's why, in our opinion, mega menu is nonsense, but whatever. That's
it's not the best way of doing it, I don't think, as a general rule. It's fine when you've only got 20 pages, but it's as it goes up, it doesn't scale very well.
It's a little bit out of a field of the SEO conspiracy thing, but I'll add it. You know what? We'll talk about it. It's also it's and the new word is SEO plus UX. That's the new trend I heard, right?
Okay, so they didn't go for SUX, sucks.com.
SXO. I think that's what it's called. SEO plus UX.
Okay.
So mega menus, that's one big, and also same with my two enemies are the architecture of a blog, the way a blog like WordPress is built, just the way you're listing by dates. That's good for a blog, meaning a personal journal. You do by dates. He has organizing your content by dates has no semantic value. I mean,
no, you absolutely need to change well, maybe they have changed the default when you set up a WordPress now anyway, but it's just a couple of buttons on the setup of WordPress, and at least you've got the title of the page in the URL.
Well, I use the pages, not the post in WordPress. If I want to do my linking right, I don't use the post, because the posts are by dates. If you use the pages, you are free to link them however you want.
You can overwrite the post dates though, so that can be so you can overwrite that in the settings. And I was of the opinion that I should just create everything in pages and no posts in WordPress, but I find that's got challenges when I want to pull RSS feeds and so using pages and posts sensibly. I think does work better. You do need pages and you do need posts, and
right.
but yes, if you want a page to definitely rank, you're marginally better off with a page than a post.
That's also a big topic for another day. How do we organize WordPress or that type of CMS to be efficient? That's what my tool, Rank for Win, does.
Right.
Is basically it's dedicated only to, it's a WordPress plugin. We have it. We have the SaaS version that can do anything, everything.
Right.
But right now we just take care of WordPress because WordPress is, if you use it by default, it's a disaster. It's not well organized, and especially all those tags, authors page, even category, and it's how you have a necklace, you have and you put pearls on top, one another, blah blah blah, instead of having your pearls organized in a nice map, in a nice mesh, in a nice whatever you want to call it. But
yep.
We are getting away from the topic.
Yeah.
Cloaking. So yeah, cloaking. Yes, Black Hat use cloaking. I use cloaking extensively for internal linking. That's not Black Hat. That's White Hat. You can't get penalized for that. If you ever get penalized because you're cloaking your in links, please call me. I'll take care of it. Trust me. It won't stick. It won't stick. I'll prove. They can't. It's all legit. And like you said, even some cloaking of the content might seem legit, like the mobile version where you take out the ads and all the stuff. In the Black Hat world, that's not allowed. That you know that you're doing it wrong. If you ever want to go that way, to be shady and to have food for search engines and food for humans, you got to do cloaking on the host.
I think
no user agent, no IP.
Honestly, the Black Hats right now have got new advantages, or advantages that they had lost. Google has had to relax some of its old school, penalizations, or at least the ones it finds algorithmically, because everybody uses all manner of different methodologies to bring content into a page, and Google can render the page now and suddenly finds that actually if they don't render the page, it's completely wrong. But you still can get that content changed, in so many different ways. So Black Hats can get away with it much more than they used to be able to, is basically what I'm saying.
Well, you know what, Mr. Dixon? It's a perfect conclusion for the next topic, which is what is left of Black Hat SEO.
Okay. Well, you're the Black Hat, so I'll let you do the talking.
Until next time, thanks for watching.